Hello crypto universe, this is TechMan34 back with another detailed guide. Today we have how to mine Zcash on a PC, the beginner's guide. This is a beginner's guide. We will cover more advanced optimization such as overclocking and such in other videos, but I've gotten some requests as a follow-up to my Ethereum mining video as to how to get started with mining Zcash. So this is everything you need to get started mining Zcash on a PC. Let's get into it. So what do you need? You need compatible hardware, GPU with enough RAM, that's 3 gigabytes currently. You need a compatible operating system, Windows 10 or Linux. There is no Mac at this time, and make sure it's 64-bit. You need your proper GPU drivers installed. I will cover this briefly, and it's similar to Ethereum. Basically, there are some specific drivers that work well with the known miners, but in general, it's AMD drivers for AMD cards, Nvidia drivers for Nvidia cards. You need a Zcash wallet address. You can go to z.cash, which is the official Zcash website, and there will be links to the wallets from there. You can also use Jaxx, which is a supported internet wallet, popular one, and exchanges that have support. And I've actually been mining 2 exchanges primarily, both Polo and now Bittrex, because I don't really deal with Polo much since they've been having so many support issues as of late. You also need the Zcash miner. So for Nvidia cards, it's going to be the EWBF miner, or for AMD cards, it's going to be the Claymore miner. I'll show you some tweaks that you'll need to do in Windows. I'll walk you through your mining pool settings to actually configure your miner and how to track it and get it up and running. So let's get started. For your drivers, for AMD cards, you're going to go to amd.com. You can get the current version or download previous drivers. I've listed here which drivers you want to use based on your card. So if you have an R9 or older, use 15.12. If you have an RX 400 series, use 16.9.2 or 16.10.3. And if you have a 500 series, just use the current driver. For Nvidia GPUs, and this is what I'm going to actually go through in detail for this guide, you are going to go to geforce.com/drivers, enter in your card info, and just get the current version. And really quick, I just wanted to give you some of the meat here that I'm sure you're looking for, which is kind of what are some of your hashing rates that you're going to get. It's in sols. It's the Equihash algorithm for Zcash. It's solutions per second. And essentially for AMD GPUs, you're going to get, with a 470, you're going to get about 245 to 255, and with a 480, you're going to get about 315 to 325. This depends on many things, of course, how you optimize it, how you undervolt, overclock, if you're flashing BIOS, etc. I'm not going to get so far into that. This is just to give you kind of a general guide, what you can expect. 570s and 580s should be pretty comparable. For Nvidia, and this is the interesting part, 1060s that are 3 gigabytes will get you 250 to 260. So you can see you're actually going to get a little bit more than like an RX 470. And a 6 gigabyte, you can actually get close to a 480. And this is just with a 1060. I don't have any 1070s, but I do have 1080s running 500 to 535, depending on how you overclock. And that's very easy to do. 1070s are actually a pretty good value because they get right up there. I don't think it's going to quite get what a 1080 will get, but it's closer to 500 than it is to 300. So the best values I'd say are probably going to be your 1060s. Your 6 gigabyte 1060s from a pricing standpoint is probably going to be your best bet, but 1070s are good as well if you can catch them on sale. And this is good because right now with the AMD shortage for GPUs in the global market, as you're well aware, I'm sure, of the pain of that, this is good because Nvidia cards now are performing very well on mining Zcash, and Zcash is very profitable. I've been mining Zcash for many months, and with this EWBF miner that is optimized towards the Nvidia CUDA cores, and I'm not going to get into that in a ton of detail, but CUDA is the proprietary architecture language on the Nvidia GPUs versus like the stream processors on AMD, which you'll see on like the OpenGL developers platform for AMD. But so the CUDA cores are very well optimized by this particular miner, the EWBF miner that I'm going to show you. So just something to think about here. You do have options in the market. If you can't get AMD, get Nvidia and mine Zcash. Or, and I wanted to add a note here, you can also mine other Equihash coins, right? So Equihash is the algorithm that Zcash is going to be on, just like for Ethereum you have the Ethash Dagger Hashimoto algorithm. And so the Equihash algo, there are other coins as well, and sometimes there's actually some other coins that are more profitable. So go to whattomine.com is what I use. Click on the GPU tab, and you can see what coins are going to produce the highest returns for you. Hush and Zen and Z Classic are other choices that you can also mine with the EWBF miner. So just keep that in mind, and now let's get into the details. Alright, so after you install your GPU drivers, which I'm not going to walk you through, but as I mentioned, download your drivers and then install them, next, okay, as you normally would. Reboot, and then the next step is to get the Zcash wallet address that we're going to mine to. So you can go to z.cash, which is the official Zcash website. And go to the tech and then scroll down to under technology, download Zcash. And this is a Windows tutorial, so we're going to choose the Windows version. And this is Zcash for Win. This is the wallet executable. I'm going to download that and then run that to install the Zcash wallet. Click Run, agree to the terms, install, click Yes if prompted, let it install and then finish. And then we can start it up. Go down into your Windows and it should be under the recently added files. And that's going to run the Zcash wallet for Windows. It does take a long time to sync up to run. That is one option. So you have the Zcash for Windows option, and then another option is to mine directly to an exchange, and this is what I actually do for my Zcash that I mine. I like to mine to Bittrex. So you go into your Bittrex account and then click on the Wallets tab and then click on the plus next to ZEC, and that will give you a deposit address for Zcash. Throw that in a notepad and leave it on your desktop. We're going to need that later as we configure the miner. And so you have your wallet all set. The next step is to download the EWBF miner. So do a Google search for EWBF ZEC miner and then look for the official Bitcoin Talk thread. Only download miners from the official threads in Bitcoin Talk. If you scroll down here, you'll see a couple different options to download. We're going to use the mega download link, so click on that. Let that load. You want to get the most recent version of the miner, which at the time of this tutorial is 0.3.4. And you're going to download that zip file. Let that run. It doesn't take that long, but for purpose of this video, I'll fast forward a bit. Once you have that, extract it to your desktop so that we can work with it. And extract all. And now we have that on our desktop. All right. The next step is to set up the mining pool configuration. So we're going to go to zcash.flypool.org, or just do a search for Zcash Flypool. So when you come in here to zcash.flypool.org, you are going to scroll down on the main page and go under Windows-Nvidia, and the EWBF miner is this first one. So you're going to copy this miner script language here. You can see the example. We're going to copy this whole string and we're going to paste it into FlyPool bat file. You can right click on it and hit edit and run. Then it'll open up this notepad. Paste in what we copied from the FlyPool website. I'm going to update my server to US1 instead of EU1. And I'm also going to remove the CUDA language at the end because that's if you want to signify certain devices while mining. I just want them all to mine. Then go into your ZEC wallet info notepad that we created earlier, which has your wallet address. Copy your Zcash wallet, drop that into your mining bat file. Worker name is after the dot. You can call that whatever you want. We'll call it mining rig 1. And do file, save as, and then name it whatever you want and just end in .bat, bat, and then select all files in the drop down and click save. Alright, so your bat file is all set. Before we get started mining, we want to set up some Windows tweaks. So first, search for power settings in Windows and go into your power and sleep. And under sleep, choose never because we don't want the miner to be going into a hibernated state while it's just mining. The next setting we want to update is Windows updates, and you can choose how they're delivered, when they're delivered, if you want to schedule a restart and so forth. If I'm going to leave updates on, then I try to just manually decide when I want to actually install them and reboot. So that's up to you, or you can, if you feel comfortable doing so, you can shut them off completely. And the next update is to update the page file. So go ahead and click on your File Explorer, right click on this PC, go to Properties, go to Advanced System Settings over on the left. Then on the Advanced tab, click on Settings. We're going to choose Adjust for Best Performance under Windows. And then on the Advanced tab, you're going to click on Change under the page file. Untick the Automatic Managed Page File and set the custom size to 16,384 megabytes. And click Set and Apply and OK. And OK. And then the last update that we're going to do is in Windows Defender, we want to set an exclusion up for the miner file or folder so that the Windows Defender does not flag the miner as a virus, which would shut down the program. So in the virus and threat protection settings, go to exclusions, add an exclusion. We're going to set an exclusion for the entire EWBF folder. Just click on that, hit OK, yes, and then you'll see your exclusion is set up there. So that exception is in place. And then shut that down. And you're all set. So now you're ready to run your miner. Just double click on your bat file and let her rip. It's going to take it a minute to get going. And then you'll be able to see the cards that are recognized and the speed at which they're hashing. The Zcash mining algorithm, again, the Equihash is solutions per second. So you see the souls per second. And so you can see the 509 here that I'm running. This is with a Nvidia 1080 509 out of the box. I'm going to show you real quick how to overclock and underpower your card. Do a Google search for MSI Afterburner, or just go to msi.com and look for the downloads. Afterburner is a very good program. It's very flexible. It allows you to adjust your graphics card's settings very easily. Go ahead and install that. Just click yes. Okay for English. Next. Accept the terms. Next. You don't need the Riva tuner statistics. You can drop that. Just click next and then install and then let that run. Doesn't take very long. And then once that's done, go ahead and click finish. You don't need to see the README. Click finish and that'll run the program. I like to go into the settings and change the skin. You can also synchronize if you have multiple video cards in your rig that are the same model. You can click this check mark to synchronize settings across them so you don't have to set each one individually. I like to set the skin to this cyborg white, and that will allow you to have a little box here. It's not shown because I only have one GPU, but if you have multiple GPUs, it'll show a little GPU selection icon, and you can quickly change between the GPUs to optimize them. So now we're going to come up here into the settings, and first we're going to increase the temperature limit, which is basically when the card will start throttling back as it approaches this limit. So we are going to increase that. We are going to decrease the power limit, which is the actual power usage that's going to the card. You're going to downclock the core, as that has less of a performance impact on your mining speed than the memory speed. And then we're actually going to increase the memory clock. And these 1080s can go quite high. So I'm going to set that. And then for the fan setting, go ahead and click that auto button so that you can manually set your fan speed. And then when you're done, click the checkbox, and that will implement these settings. These 1080s can go quite high. If you are using 1060s, don't go this high. For 1060s, you probably want to stay around 250 or so. And then we can go back to our desktop and run our miner again, and let's see what kind of performance we're now getting. We'll give it a minute to run, and then we'll see the speed. All right, so 540. So we were at 509, now we're at 540. I don't have it hooked up right now, but I do have a kilowatt meter, so I can measure the actual power draw at the wall. So I will probably do that later and add it into the notes, but reducing your power limit and underclocking your core is going to give you a significant power reduction. And then go back into zcash.flypool.org, and up in that check status box, you're going to enter in your wallet address, and then you'll be able to see your miner there. It's not there now. We're going to let it run for a minute and then refresh. So just go back in and refresh your page on zcash.flypool.org, and you will see your miner statistics. You can scroll down, you can see your rig name and the speed that's coming through. On this settings tab, this is where you set up the email notifications, and again, I'll link to that other video below if you want to set that up. So that's it, guys. You are mining Zcash on a PC. I hope you like this video. If you run into any issues, please do comment below, ask questions. I try to answer everyone's questions. I really appreciate all of the support and engagement I've been getting on these videos. Really glad to help you guys. I hope that you share this with your miner friends. Again, we do have options here. If you can't get an AMD card, use a Nvidia card with the EWBF miner, which is very well optimized for Nvidia, and mine an Equihash coin, such as Zcash or one of the other coins that I mentioned. So I hope you got a lot out of this video. Thanks for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.